Okay, so our today's topic is calls in advance. I hope yesterday we have discussed calls in area and it is clear to all of you. If any query is there, you can ask first, then I will proceed. Now see calls in advance. See, calls in area was the money which we have not received but it is due. Like first call was due, but we have not received first call money. Then it is called calls in area. Here the first call money was due, but we have not received certain amount of money, that becomes calls in area. And we may receive it later on also. It is quite possible that the shareholder may pay later on. But calls in advance is that some of the shareholder has paid the amount in advance. Before the amount gets due, the shareholder has paid us the amount. That is called calls in advance. So, see the meaning, a shareholder may sometimes pay a part or whole of the amount not yet called upon his shares in order to save himself the trouble of paying different calls at different times. Thus, the amount of future calls is received in advance by the company. So, those which we are going to call in future, the money which we are going to call in future may be paid at times by the shareholder in advance to save the trouble, to save his time, and many reasons can be there. Okay, now when the amount of calls in advance is received, it is credited to a newly opened account, calls in advance account. Because see, you have received the money in advance. So whenever you will receive the amount for calls in advance, what journal entry you will be doing? Bank account debit to calls in advance. Because it is your liability. Till now, you have not made that money due. You have received that money in advance. And whatever you receive in advance, that is your liability. Now, how to present that calls in advance in balance sheet? Presentation of calls in advance in balance sheet. Calls in advance account is shown on the equity and liability side. Obviously, it is a liability, so it will come on the liability side first thing. Then there are several headings are there on the liability side. So one heading is current liabilities. So calls in advance will come in current liabilities. Why will it come in current liabilities? Because in future, in nearby future, within 1 year, this amount will get due. If you remember, you have to collect all the amount within a year for the shares issued and subhead under other current liabilities. So there are various subheadings. So in current liabilities, you will be showing calls in advance in other current liabilities. Yes, presentation of calls in advance in balance sheet is clear. However, this is not important for this chapter, but sometimes students get confused in balance sheet questions for calls in advance. What to do? So it will not affect your capital. It will not affect your capital. In future, when the call is made by the directors, so this is the entry for making call money due. This is the entry for making call money due that you already know. You are familiar with this entry. And when you will be receiving money for this call, you will be doing entry bank account debit to share call. Simple entry will be doing bank account debit to share call account. But the amount which you have received in advance, that liability will get finished now. The money which you have received in advance, that liability will get finished now. So that's why I am cancelling this liability now. I am finishing this liability now by reversing the account. Earlier it was credited, now it has been debited in the bank entry. So I hope there are two stages. When you receive the money in calls in advance, you will be crediting calls in advance account, and when you will be actually receiving that money after getting it due, at that time you will finish that liability by making that account debt. So this is the logic. So now you know when the calls in advance account being credited and when the calls in advance account will be debited. Now regarding interest on calls in advance. So interest on calls in arrear was 10% per annum, maximum 10% per annum. Interest on calls in arrears. And interest on calls in advance, if the rate is not specified in the articles, then table F will be applicable. And table F actually authorizes the board of directors to decide the rate of interest on calls in advance, but it cannot exceed 12% per annum. It cannot exceed 12% per annum. So this is about the interest, but calculation of interest on calls in advance is not in your syllabus. So you should be theoretically knowing only the rate of interest which can be charged on calls in advance, and you have to pay this interest because you have taken the money in advance. That's why you will be paying the interest. Now these 2 points are very important. Calls in advance account is not a part of share capital. Calls in advance account is not a part of share capital. That we have studied few minutes back. That it will not affect your share capital. It is a part of current liability. It is a part of current liability. Then interest on calls in advance is a charge against profits. So because you have taken that money in advance, so paying that interest is your compulsory expense. It is an expense for you, and you cannot give an excuse that because I am not able to earn the proper profits, or right now I am not having any sufficient profits, that's why I will not be able to pay interest on calls in advance. So it is not a discretionary matter. It is not an appropriation of profit. You have to compulsorily pay the interest on calls in advance. It is a charge against profits. Yes, please. Clear? Any query regarding calls in advance? First thing, we have studied the meaning, the amount which you received in advance for the calls. Then how to account for it, bank account debit to calls in advance. Then finishing that liability at the time when the call becomes due. Then next is, it is not a part of share capital and interest rate on it, maximum rate is 12% per annum. So this is all we have discussed. Now coming to the question. Chandra Limited issued 40,000 shares of ₹10 each payable as follows. So face value is ₹10. We have to decide about the issue price, whether premium is there or not. Just total the breakup, 2.5 plus 2.5, 5 rupees, plus 2 plus 3. So it also becomes 10. So the issue price is also 10. All these shares were subscribed and amounts received. Mohan, who had 800 shares, paid the amount of first and second call with allotment. Now there is a shareholder who is having 800 shares. At the time when he was paying you allotment money, he has also paid you first call money and second call money. Mohan passed journal entries in the books of the company. So first entry will be bank account debit. 40,000 applications you have received and 40,000 shares you have allotted. So 2.5 multiplied by 40,000. Can you tell me the amount? If you feel any difficulty for that, the trick is 40,000 multiplied by 2, it becomes 80,000. And then 40,000 multiplied by 0.5, it will become 20,000. So 80,000 plus 20,000, it will become 1 lakh. So this way you can make the calculation simple. To equity share application account. This will be the entry, then equity share application account debit 1 lakh to equity share capital account 1 lakh. Now next entry will be equity share allotment account debit it will become allotment account to equity share capital account 1 lakh. Then bank account debit one lakh. Sorry, here the amount will get changed. I will do it later on. To equity share allotment account. So you will receive 1 lakh for allotment, but here also you are receiving some amount in advance. So 2 calls in advance. Now can you tell me the amount which you will be receiving in advance? 800 shares are there. Then multiplied by, you are receiving 2 rupees for first call and 3 rupees for final call. So in total 5 rupees you are receiving in advance. I hope it is clear. So you will be receiving 4,000 rupees in advance. So the total amount which you will be receiving here, it will become 1,04,000. Yes, still here any query? Yes, very good. Okay. Now first call will become due. First call account debit. Okay, okay. Now the first call is of rupees 2. One query is there, sir. It will always be mentioned in the question that call is given in advance. See, question has clearly stated us. Without question, how I can be knowing that whether some amount has been received in advance or not? Mohan, who had 800 shares, paid the amount of first and second calls with allotment. So this is calls in advance. If the question is giving you such information, then it will be calls in advance. Okay. Now, equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account, the amount will be changed now because it is 2 rupees per share, so it will become 80,000. Now the next entry will be bank account debit. This amount we will fill later on. Now see, you have received some amount for first call in advance, so that liability will finish now. You have to finish that liability now. Portion advance account debit. At any point, if you feel any confusion, you can ask me. To equity share first call account. Yes, first is journal entry. Whether journal entry is clear? This journal entry is clear. And now listen very carefully. Now listen the calculation very carefully. You see, the total amount due for first call is 80,000. Total amount due for first call is 80,000. That is already written in the due entry. Out of this 80,000, I have received some amount for first call in advance. So how much amount I have received? I have received 800 shares into 2. This much amount I have received in advance, not 4,000. 4,000 is including first call and second call both. So that's why out of 80,000, I will deduct 1,600 now. So 80,000 minus 1,000, 79,000, and minus 600, 78,400. Yes, please. This amount is clear. Now you will be receiving only 78,400 because 1,600 you have already received in advance. So you have to be careful here and do it logically. This much amount has been received in advance and the total amount will become 50,000. Now coming to the second and final call. Equity share, second and final call, account debit, and the amount is 3 rupees per share, so that's why it will become 1,20,000. 1,20,000. Just a minute. Some queries there. 1,600 we received in advance. So why we are showing in due amount? Where we are showing in due amount? It is the bank entry. I am just finishing the liability. You have received the 1,600 here in advance. 1,600 plus 2,400. In due entry, it is simple 80,000. See, you have received in advance. Suppose you have paid the school fees in advance. So that amount will become due in next month. So due amount will always remain complete. It will not get reduced. Your bank amount will get reduced. How the due amount will reduce? Due amount cannot reduce. Due amount will always be complete. Is it clear? Now, this entry will be here. Okay, now tell me how much liability of calls in advance you will finish in this entry and what will be the bank amount. Tell me the bank amount also and tell me this amount also. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Very good. Tell me the bank amount now. Yes, very good, very good, very good, very good. See, the total amount due on final call is 1,20,000. Out of this 1,20,000, you have received 2,400 in advance. Out of this 1,20,000, you have received 2,400 in advance. So rest of the amount you will be receiving now. So 1,20,000 minus 2,000, 1,18,000 minus 400, 1,17,600. Yes, please. Now see if any doubt in any journal entry. One doubt was there that why we are including this 1,600 in the due amount, or you can say why we are including 2,400 in this due amount. So see, the amount is always due for complete number of shares until and unless you will make it due for the reason only that someone has you paid that amount in advance. How your liability will get finished? Your liability will not get finished then. So for finishing your liability, first you have to make use that amount. One more query is there, sir. If all the amount is given in advance, then which entry? Now suppose all the shareholders paid you first call money in advance. So you will be receiving this 80,000 along with the money of allotment. So this amount will become 1,84,000. And because you have received this all amount in advance, so due entry will be there, but bank entry will not be there. Only the entry will be there, policy in advance account debit to equity share first call account. Then bank, you will not be receiving any amount, so bank will vanish from the journal entry. Your entry will be policy in advance account debit to equity share first call account. 50,000, 80,000. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So these concepts of policy in areas and policy in advance will be extended further in the coming topics. So before we extend this topic, I want that tomorrow is Sunday, and please practice these all topics thoroughly. In this current week, we have learned about the consideration other than cash, and then we have learned policy in areas and policy in advance. So please practice them thoroughly.